Hi, my name is Michelle Metzner, and today we're going to talk about the basics of collaborative thinking and learning. Before we get started, let's go ahead and make sure everyone understands how to use the WebEx functions appropriately. Uh, what I'm going to show you is more appropriate for uh, a synchronous class, not an asynchronous class like this one, but we're still going to go over. So arrow number one here is the controls for the participants pane. If you click the word participants down here, it will open the panel and you can see everyone who is enrolled in the class. In arrow number two here, you see the chat feature. If you open this, you can chat with other people in the course while everything is going on. The mute button is number three, very important here. Please make sure that you're muted when you are not speaking to avoid background distractions. And then the video in number four, if you press that button, you can start and stop your video. In live classes or synchronous classes, I prefer that you have your video turned on so I can see you. Um, but if you need to shut it off, click that again and it will shut your camera off. And then finally, number five here is your closed captioning function. Okay, if you like closed captioning turned on, go ahead and click it. Otherwise, click it again and that will shut off for you. Okay. All right. So let's move on here to a quick quality check. You have some tasks. I have some tasks. Your tasks are to remove distractions. So ask other people not to disturb you, turn off your phone, shut your door, make sure you're able to focus on today's class. My tasks are to verify that the screen is being recorded, which I see up here with the red dot. It is being recorded. I also need to verify that the slides are moving properly. So far, they have been, so I have no reason to believe they will continue to do so. And then verify that my audio is working. Down here in the mute section, um, if you see the little green micro or the little microphone icon and you see the green levels moving up and down with your voice, that means that your microphone is working. My green levels are moving, so my microphone is working. Okay. All right. Okay, so the big idea for this conference is that thinking and learning collaboratively are coveted skills in the educational and professional arenas. Think about in your school life and in your professional life, how many times you've been asked to complete group projects, group assignments, you know, work with your fellow students, work with your fellow employees to get a task done. I'm betting it's going to be quite often. Okay. Therefore, collaborative thinking and learning will give students an advantage when finishing their degrees and seeking postgraduate employment. Are you intrigued? Good. Stick with me because this conference will explore why collaborative thinking is such an important facet of our educational and professional. Now, to get you thinking about your own experiences with collective thinking and learning, I'd like you to complete a reflection. Now, all of the reflections in this course will be done the same way. I will read the prompt to you and tell you how much time you have, and you'll pause while you complete your reflection, and then you'll go ahead and start the video. Okay. So for this one, take about 4 minutes to briefly describe an educational or work situation in which collaborative thinking and learning went well. Okay. What were the circumstances? What made the situation positive? Then briefly describe an educational or work situation in which collaborative thinking and learning did not go well. Again, what were the circumstances and what made the situation ineffective? So go ahead and pause and then come back when you're ready. Welcome back. So let's get into the learning objectives. After this conference, you'll be able to define the concept of collaborative thinking, explain the rationale for communities of inquiry and collaborative thinking, explain how collaborative thinking is different from collective thinking, explain the benefits of collaborative thinking, and explain why technological advancements demand collaborative thinking. So why are we studying collaborative thinking? Where did this concept even come from? According to author and researcher D. Randy Garrison, humans have been thinking collaboratively since the beginning of time because humans are hardwired to work together to solve problems. In fact, many of the scientific and health advancements we enjoy today are a result of collaborations that occurred decades or centuries ago. For instance, do you like listening to music in your home? Well, you can thank Thomas Edison and his band of muckers for inventing the phonograph in 1877. Are you glad that you can take advantage of all of the medical advancements that have come about since the double helix of human DNA was discovered? You can thank Crick, Watson, and Wilkins for their collaboration in 1953. And these are just two of the millions, if not hundreds of millions, of collaborations that have taken place throughout human history and come up with something great. Okay? So, what exactly is collaborative thinking? Well, collaborative thinking is an approach to learning that requires participants to work closely with others, to think critically, and find creative approaches to tasks or problems. In collaborative thinking, participants must interact openly with their group members in order to share ideas and insights. Group members should be supportive of each other and create a safe space in which to share ideas. In order to interact openly, group members would be wise to create a community of inquiry, which is a three-part framework that combines social, cognitive, and teaching skills to create an environment that fosters open and supportive collaborative communication. In other words, the community of inquiry is a space, either in person or virtual, in which participants feel safe to present and explore ideas and provide and receive constructive feedback. Now, safety is a key there. Okay. It's no good if people present ideas and then they're ridiculed or attacked or, somehow unproductively argued with. um, they need a safe space because that's where even the bad ideas can turn into something good. Okay? All right. So I know some of you may be thinking, I don't like working collaboratively. Isn't collaborative thinking just another word for groupthink? The answer to that is a resounding no. Okay. As Garrison states, in collaborative thinking, the goal is to respectfully challenge oneself and the group to solve problems through collaborative inquiry. Collective thinking, on the other hand, means that participants do not challenge the group or themselves and just go along with what everyone else thinks. Remember, the goal of collaborative thinking is for individuals to push themselves intellectually. Participants should question their own assumptions and work together to solve challenging problems. After all, okay, when we don't challenge our own assumptions, we're likely to engage in biased thinking. Now, biased thinking occurs when our ideas and assumptions go unchallenged. So we may always think that our way of thinking is the correct one, when that may or may not be the case. So now, for this reflection, take 2, maybe 3 minutes to describe a time in which you encountered groupthink. Okay. What were the circumstances? Did you agree or disagree with the group? And if you disagreed, okay, if you disagreed but did not speak up, why did you not speak up? How satisfied were you with the outcome of the group's decision and why? All right, go ahead and pause, and I'll meet you back here in a minute. Now that we've discussed what collaborative thinking is and how it's different from collective thinking, let's talk about some of the benefits of collaborative thinking. Well, collaborative thinking hones critical thinking skills as well as communication and problem solving skills, leading to innovation. Okay. It also avoids biased thinking. Collaborative thinking also helps participants develop skills that employers want, such as flexibility, multitasking, problem solving, and decision making. Okay. So now let's take a look at why technological advancements demand collaborative thinking. We are on the internet basically every day. It would be shocking if we weren't, right? How many of you have read a story, a post, a tweet, and just accepted the information in it as true without even thinking that you should fact check it, right? Probably more than you'd care to admit. Now, Collaborative thinking hones skills like critical thinking and bias questioning that teach us to affirm the validity of what we see on the internet. Okay. Excuse me. Because we have the capacity to be connected via technology, we must have excellent communication, critical thinking, and collaboration skills that are free from bias. So, take another 3 minutes or so and tell me, how often do you read internet material? And this is a big one, uncritically and pass it on to others. Okay. How many times do you do that? And why do you do that? And how often do you read internet material uncritically but don't pass it on to others? And why do you do that? And then how often do you check the validity of the information you read on the internet and why? Go ahead and pause, and I'll meet you back in a minute. Now that you know the basics of and the rationale for collaborative thinking, let's see how college business writing teachers can apply it in their classrooms. Okay. In the last 10 or 15 years, most American companies have shifted away from the paradigm that saw individual employees working alone to solve complex problems to a structure that values teamwork and collaboration to find solutions to those same problems. So, to prepare students for a collaborative environment, business writing teachers can introduce students to the concept and practice of collaborative thinking via course design. One of the easiest ways to incorporate collaborative learning into your business writing class is to create a company that needs minor and major projects completed that fulfill the learning objectives of the course. Now, once you've got your company created, you can then create company divisions such as production, research and development, HR, etc. Then you can design the assignments that each division of the company will complete. Okay. Just remember to consult the course's learning objectives to make sure that each division of the company is learning what they are supposed to learn from the course. Next, create the roles that students will play in their assigned division. Consider roles like project manager, communications officer, marketer, sales manager, etc. Divisions may have the same, similar, or disparate roles for students to take on. Just make sure to equally distribute the workload across the roles in each team and across the company. Remember that you should assign each student and each team the same amount of work. Now it's time to assign the teams. The size of the team depends, of course, on the size of your class, but for a class of 25 to 28 students, teams of 4 to 6 usually work the best. Now, take about 4 minutes to either handwrite or type your response to the following. What is your level of comfort with creating and executing this type of course structure? Low, mid, high, somewhere in between, and why? And then, regardless of your comfort level, how would you rate your excitement or interest level about creating and executing this type of course structure on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is low and 10 is high? And then tell me why. Go ahead and pause. So let's quickly review some of the key concepts from today's conference, starting with collaborative thinking. Remember, collaborative thinking is an approach to learning that requires participants to work closely with others to think critically and find creative approaches to tasks or problems. In order to interact openly, group members would be wise to form a community of inquiry, which is a three-part framework that combines social, cognitive, and teaching skills to create an environment that fosters open and supportive collaborative communication. Next, we talked about the differences between collaborative thinking and collective thinking. Okay. So let's do a little fill in the blank here. In blank, participants do not challenge the group or themselves and just go along with what everyone else thinks. In blank, the goal is to respectfully challenge oneself and the group to solve problems through collaborative inquiry. So, that first blank here, where people don't challenge the group or themselves, I think that's going to be collective thinking. Okay. Then in the second one, in which the goal is to respectfully challenge oneself and the group, I'm going to say that sounds like collaborative thinking. Okay. And that would be correct. Good job if you got those right. I certainly hope you did. Okay. We also talked about the benefits of collaborative thinking. Remember that collaborative thinking hones critical thinking skills as well as communication and problem solving skills, leading to innovation. It also avoids biased thinking. It also helps participants to develop skills that employers want, such as flexibility, multitasking, and problem solving and decision making. And then finally, we looked at why technological advances demand collaborative thinking. Remember that collaborative thinking owns skills like critical thinking and bias questioning that teach us to affirm the validity of what we see on the internet. So, for your final reflection, take about 3 minutes and talk to me about um, in what ways do your particular students, or in what ways would your particular students benefit from a class that fosters those critical thinking skills or collaborative thinking skills, and why? All right. Thank you for joining me in this conference in which we learned about collaborative thinking and learning. I look forward to our next time together. Have a good day.